sure, but apparently we are. I want to talk about the game yesterday. This is just going to be my rant here from yesterday's game. This is just going to be Mike talking about what happened basically in the game. I had some thoughts that I put out on Twitter, and I kind of just want to go through them with you guys and see if you agree with me or not. Real Browns fan 32, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Coral Ross, how's it going, man? All right, so some good news as well. Homage reached out, and they'd like to participate again. So we might have some cool stuff coming from our friends at Homage, along with Sabo Apparel. So we got some good stuff. Hopefully give more back to everybody. Anybody watching this, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe now. Click the like button. Let's go. Derek Jones, what's going on, dude? OBJ was trash yesterday. I don't think anybody could disagree with you, including OBJ. All right, so let's first talk about OBJ, right? Since Derek brought him up. Jake, how's it going, man? I think OBJ got manhandled yesterday. I think it was by design. I think the Ravens know that he is fragile emotionally. And I think that the Ravens beat him up, said, go ahead, get penalties. Doesn't make a difference. We had all those penalties. We couldn't even get it across the 50-yard line, right? So their strategy clearly was to beat up OBJ, get him to go crazy, get him to be all toxic, and then infect the rest of the sideline, the locker room, and then allow that to impact the attitude of the team. And when I say infect, it is infectious. If you guys have ever been at a company or on any kind of team where you've got somebody who's real negative, somebody who just is not happy, they wear it on their sleeve, they are just not fun to be around, and you feel it. It's an atmosphere that's created by negative people. And I feel that if you notice from the very first drive when Baker threw that first interception, you got the whole head in the air, eyes rolling, head rolling around, both him and Jarvis as well. It infected Jarvis. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, fine, cool, normal guys. I think that the tight ends were good. I think a lot of people were out there and excited, but OBJ and Jarvis, unfortunately, have a lot of pull in terms of how the team feels at a moment-to-moment basis, and OBJ's body language and focus and attitude clearly impacted what was going on. And it might have got to the point where, because he wasn't really targeted in the first half, and they came back and we targeted him a whole bunch of times, right? And they were just like holding him, penalties left and right, doing all this stuff, and he was ineffective. The bottom line is the Ravens shut him down, and it was a problem. Coral says, I don't like his attitude. Even going back and watch his interview during camp, he's just in blah negative mood. You know what? I don't remember seeing a lot of his. I don't like watching OBJ's interviews. I don't find him to be all that interesting a person, and I'm not really. I guess the fame and the stardom, and the whole thing about him, I don't really know where it comes from. Like, maybe he was a big star in New York, the Nike stuff, celebrity, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you got to produce, man. You can't just be a fashion model. Like, you got to produce, and that's a big problem. Yes. And then another key drop. It wasn't just the drop. My dad pointed out, I talked to him again. I was dropping him off at the airport today, and we were talking about the game. My mom was in the back, and she's like, will you guys stop complaining about the Browns? But, it was the drop. It was the face mask penalty. It was the going out of bounds and not reestablishing himself play. All of that stuff is a problem. Jake says he's a one-handed catch wonder. I gotta say, Jake, about the one-handed stuff. Somebody said something on Twitter, and I completely agree. Nobody wants to see any more warm-up one-handed catches. If you're gonna drop a 4-yard pass when we need 2 yards on third down to keep a drive alive in the middle of a game when we still have a chance to be competitive. So Odell, if you're not willing to risk your body, or your focus can come off so much when 2 hands hit the ball. Yes, it was a little bit behind you. But dude, if you're catching one-hand passes, no-look catches, all that stuff in warm-ups and practice, when you're training on the off season, you got 1 foot on one of those like rubber ball things and you're catching them from the machine, one hand, no look, bro, you can't drop a 4-yard pass. Sorry, man. And that attitude's got to change, dude. So OBJ is a problem there. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall in halftime locker room. I think might have overlooked the fact that Stefanski may be too low key. Yeah, I got to tell you, Kid Wilson, the thing about coaches in the NFL, you don't have, like, Bill Belichick kind of wanders around and just looks angry, but he's got a presence and a fire about him. Sean Payton has the same way, right? Walks around, he's got a little fire about him. You know, the old coaches that we used to have, Schottenheimer used to have that fire about him. Those are the certain things that a lot of these coaches, and this is one of the problems I had, guys, going into this thing with Stefanski. We hired another guy who's learning how to be a head coach on the job. Now, I don't know about you guys, what you do for a living, but anybody that I've known that has ever come into a job or a manager role, it's very rare that they're perfect right away, right? It's very, very rare that they are great right out of the box. I happen to be working for a person right now who is exceptional. She's been a manager in the past. She's currently a manager now. She stepped into the role and she's amazing, right? But it's her first time being a manager at my current company, but she's amazing. But it's very rare that you get those people who can come in and just do amazing out of the get-go at any job. And Stefanski, as long as he's been in the NFL, dude, that's my problem. Joe Woods, same thing. You're learning how to be a defensive coordinator on the job. Dude, we didn't have a good... They cut us up like butter yesterday. Right? Now, the interesting thing about the Ravens is they are a dynamic offense. There's not very many offenses in this league that are anything like the Baltimore Ravens. The only one I can think of that might be somewhat close to it might be Arizona, because Kyler Murray is so mobile. But even Kyler Murray's a throw-first quarterback. He just happens to be an exceptional athlete who uses his legs when he has to. The Ravens they're a run-first 75% of the time, team. So we're not going to see that sort of team. We're going from the Ravens, who are probably our hardest team on the schedule, right? This is the hardest game on the schedule, to this away at Baltimore, to what should be the easiest game on the schedule. The worst team in the league last year, the team that had the first overall pick last year, right? At home on a primetime game, which, as Quincy Carrier pointed out, we happen to play really well on Thursday nights. At home. We don't win a lot at home, but we win on Thursday nights at home, right? In-game rivalry. It's a must-win. It's a short week. We can put it behind us. I don't know about you guys, but when I get really pissed off at something, like if I'm playing Call of Duty Warzone, I lose a whole bunch, I get all worked up about it. Man, I mean, if I take a break, go get a drink, come back 5 minutes later, I'm ready to go because I can put it behind me. Hopefully the Browns can put this behind them very quickly, because we need them to focus on what's happening on Thursday night. Greg Williams, on the other hand, will get into players' hours. Yes, it was funny. I was talking to my dad about that exact thing, Kid Wilson. Thank you for bringing it up. This morning, I think, and I almost put this in my rant, my multi-tweet rant, that we really, it's looking more and more like we dropped the ball by getting rid of Greg Williams. I'm not saying Greg was the greatest thing or anything, but I can tell you, one, we were disciplined. They feared him. He focused on the defense, right? And if you would have given him more time to develop and more time to get the best out of him, I think we could. Now, he's gone to the Jets. The Jets haven't been good. And you know what? Whatever. The Jets are terrible. And they don't have the same level of talent as we have. So maybe he's making the best with the ingredients he has. But there's no denying it. When he took over for Hugh Jackson, we were a better team without a doubt. And we haven't been that team ever since. The Freddie experiment was a disaster. And so far, it's been bad. Now, I watched Quincy's his video that he put out, and I think, and he made a really interesting point. The 2007 Browns, which is really, besides the 2004, which is the Butch Davis playoff team, besides the 2017, we had a very similar start to the season. We got blown out by Pittsburgh week 1, and then we got rid of Charlie Fry, and a whole new offense came in. Right, Derek Anderson comes in, lights it up, throws a billion touchdowns, can't beat Cincinnati in the end. That's all she wrote, 10-6, and we have a Miami Dolphins sort of season where we don't make the playoffs going 10-6. Right, but it doesn't mean the season's over. We have a chance, and I hope that we wake up, because last year, if you guys remember last year, we lost embarrassingly. We got humiliated at home against the Titans, who we were thinking were going to be a pushover team. Right, we shouldn't have thought they were going to be a pushover team, but we treated them like that, and they humiliated us at home, really knocked the wind out of our sails, embarrassed us in front of everybody, made the media go, you know what, we're right. The Browns are paper champs. They're nothing but divas and celebrities, and they're not real winners yet. So we kind of proved them right with that Tennessee game. We came back against the Jets, and we did good. I think we played good against the Jets. They were on the third string quarterback because Myles Garrett literally ended the career of one dude, and then they went to the third string guy who had been there like a week and a half. I mean, the Jets aren't going to do anything with that. They tried to keep it competitive. We didn't blow them out by 100 billion points. We just did pretty good. OBJ caught that one-handed pass, and he caught that one big slant to seal the game at the end, and that was that. That was all she wrote. But if you really, really put that game under a microscope, there was a lot of that same frustration and pissed off, negative feelings from OBJ that I got. It was just a little bit more raw. Now it's a little bit more pent up frustration that he had a bad season last year, and then he blamed it on the hernia, right? That he had to get surgery on, all that kind of stuff, right? So a lot's going to come down to what this game is. If we lose this game on Thursday, guys, that's all she wrote. I really think there's going to be some massive changes. I think you may see a Case Keenum earlier than we thought, and unfortunately for Baker, it's not that I necessarily think it's his fault. I mean, you have some drop passes. He definitely missed some guys, and that first interception wasn't very good, right? Not only did he get knocked down, but I mean, Campbell could have just picked it off right out of the sky if he wasn't like a dopey lineman. If he had any hands at all, he could have just picked that off, right? So he basically threw 2 interceptions with 1 pass, which was the worst way you could start a game. That was what I feared all along, that you're going to have this offseason, all this training. A lot of some of the reports that were coming out of camp is Baker didn't have the greatest camp in the world. People weren't all sold on him for everything. Now, I am a big Baker Mayfield supporter. I've bought a lot of his jerseys. I own several of them. I've gifted them to people, my family members, my kids, my wife, my parents. I've given away on Twitter and stuff like that. So I give away a lot of Baker Mayfield stuff. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. That Jets game where he came in and took over for Tyrod and ended up winning the game was honestly one of the single greatest nights of my life in sports. I got to watch that game live with my dad. We're up in Pennsylvania for my grandmother's funeral, and that night I flew up to Hershey, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. We're staying at a friend in the family. We had DVR'd the game, and we got to watch that game together, which is a really special moment. So I'll never forget that. And I've believed in Baker all along, and I think he's just such a dynamic, great guy and all this stuff. But man, I mean, to be honest, you got to win games. You got to win games. You got to have people believe in you. And you could see this could be the beginning of the end of the Baker Mayfield era if we lose to Joe Burrow and the lowly Bengals on Thursday. guys. That's a reality. Everybody has to just be prepared that is a possibility that could go down this year if we start seeing the same sort of thing. We need to rebound in a big way. Okay, guys? All right. Going back, let me scroll back a little bit so I can get everybody involved. I want to get you all involved. Derek says, keeps dropping. I'm 32 and won't be a star anywhere. I agree. Dude, your dad is awesome. Jake, thanks, man. Amen, brother. Preach. I love my dad. And I felt so bad this morning. I dropped him off at the airport at 6:30 in the morning. And he literally apologized to me. He's like, I'm sorry that I brought you into this. I'm sorry that this is what we got to deal with. And I was like, dude, you don't have to apologize. And like, this is one of the things I'm most passionate about in life, and it will go down. I mean, you can put it on my gravestone. I'm a Browns fan. I'll always be a Browns fan. And I'm so glad that I'm a Browns fan. It's part of my identity and I love it. And even all the bad stuff, because the one time when we win this thing, guys, we win this together after going through all the stuff that we went through, it's going to feel unlike anything else. It'll feel probably like what the Boston Red Sox fans felt like after they broke their long drought, right? But although they've had, the Bruins have been good, the Celtics have been good, and the Patriots obviously have been good. So, but still, it's like the Red Sox had a long thing. Anyway, but yeah, nobody needs to apologize to me, especially my dad. My dad blessed me with the Browns. Taking me to games at Municipal Stadium when I was a little kid, me and my friends and our family, and all those great memories of going to that stadium and seeing Bernie Kosar and, all that stuff when I was a little kid. It was special. It was amazing. And I hope I'm kind of giving that to my kids now. They kind of see, I don't know if they're that passionate about football just yet, but we'll see. All right, Mr. Roll Up 10, OBJ has negative impact on Baker's decision making and the play calling. I think I agree with you. I think that it forces Baker to want to feed him, and you feed the players that are doing well. You don't feed the players that are bitching and are doing bad. OBJ also dropped that one that it was kind of like it was a little bit towards the ground that he had to go down on the ground for. He didn't come up with it. Again, this is Mr. One-handed catch in practice, one-handed catch in warm-ups, upside down, under, over, behind him, under his legs, all this stuff, man. Like, catch the damn ball or stop doing all the circus stuff during practice. If you can't do that, then I don't care. Good time to talk about the sponsors. Tim Ollie Realty, Sabo Apparel, Homage is back now. So guys, support these guys. The Patreon's there as well. The Patreon allows me to buy cool stuff, like when I don't have the giveaways from the corporate guys, when I can buy things. We got some cool stuff. Let me give you some previews. Let me give you some previews of what's possibly coming this year. The Tim Couch print. This is the actual print, glossy print's coming. We've got, I don't want to put that down anywhere that could get crap on it. We've got a whole bunch of like starting lineup stuff. So just if you join the Patreon, if you're not a patron, it's $1. I mean, doesn't kill anybody, but it helps us because every month they give us that money and we can buy cool stuff. All right. Beast Grills, what's going on, man? Wouldn't be mad if they trade OBJ or Odell. To be honest, I don't know what we get for him. We certainly aren't going to get a first round pick, a previous first round pick, and a good offensive lineman. We're not going to get that deal, right? We'd be lucky if we walked away with a fifth. And here's the problem with an OBJ trade. Okay, let me just set this up for you. OBJ, if you start shopping him and he hears about it, then he's going to be, who knows, he could go off, right? So you can't shop him publicly. And if another team then, let's say that you're in negotiation with a team, let's say, I don't know, New England or Green Bay. I don't care who it is. If somebody in their organization lets it leak out to the press, right? Then, and it gets back to OBJ, then we have to come out and say either we are shopping him or we're not shopping him. Again, this causes problems and controversy in the locker room. There's also his best friend, who also is another leader on the team, who's a one hell of a guy and brought the spirit back to Cleveland Browns, Jarvis Landry. You don't know how that's going to impact him. Okay? And then if nobody comes up with anything and they're like, you know, we're not going to give you a third, we're not going to give you a fourth, we're not going to give you a fifth, we'll give you a sixth or seventh, you know, and we say no, and then it gets out, well, nobody was offering anything good enough, they're offering sixth or seventh. What does that do to Odell? You know, it makes him feel terrible. So we can't even shop him. The only thing we could do is we could say we're willing to listen to offers. Like any good GM, we'd be willing to listen to an offer for any player. Right? If it happens to be talking about Odell, fine. If not, but you got to come to us with a decent deal. I just don't think it's a buyer's market right now for Odell Beckham. He hasn't proven anything. He's coming off multiple injuries. He's getting older. He's obviously got an attitude problem. He's not meshing well with a young quarterback. So where do you put him? Look at Antonio Brown. Same thing. He proved he was still productive, right? When he went to New England, he was still productive. It was all the other stuff that comes with it. One thing about the NFL, guys, this is the same thing with Tim Tebow. This is one of the reasons why Johnny Manziel's not getting a second chance, why Colin Kaepernick's not getting a second chance. It's not about the talent. It's about the circus. They don't want to risk having that circus come with that player. I've said for years, Johnny Manziel never coming back. My dad's still in denial about that. He'll say that he's exciting and he wants to give him a second chance, believes in second chances, and Johnny's done everything right and yada yada. But the bottom line is no team is going to take a chance on a Johnny Manziel when you got guys coming out of the draft every year, and one of them could be the next Russell Wilson or Tom Brady. So why are you going to go with a guy who's got issues, you don't know what he's bringing, and he's going to bring the media? Teams don't like the media. That's why they don't want to go on Hard Knocks every year, right? Nobody wants to go on Hard Knocks because they don't like it, because they don't get to control it anymore, and the narrative starts getting shifted, and people start backstabbing and lying and leaking. None of that stuff is good, whether it's a football team or a company, corporation. Nobody likes any of that stuff, right? You want positive, good, happy. Everybody's good. Everybody's happy, right? So yeah. All right. Coral, I also think that there's plenty of time that OBJ is open and Baker just doesn't get him the ball, and that kills Odell's attitude. I think you're right there too. I'm not going to argue that he's not open. The problem is the plays where Baker was forcing him the ball, and seemed like he was forcing him the ball over and over, and then he's like, all right, I can't force him the ball anymore, and then the one play where he's open, he doesn't look at him, he throws the other way. You know, I was getting frustrated. The first half, I'm frustrated. I'm like, we're going to, you know, Kadarrell Hodge and Harrison Bryant, and we're targeting these guys. We're throwing the ball to Nick Chubb. Not to say that's bad, but we're throwing it to Nick Chubb. Where's Austin Hooper? Where's Jarvis Landry? Where's Odell Beckham? Now, maybe they're covered, and maybe that opens up the opportunities to dunk to these guys. But, bro, the guys that we're paying the money to, the big money free agents, the trade guys, like, they didn't make the impact. Myles Garrett didn't have an impact yesterday. You watch the Dallas game, Dallas versus LA Rams. Aaron Donald made an impact almost every play, bowling through 3 offensive linemen. There are defensive players that are making an impact and making their presence known. Now, again, Myles Garrett against Lamar Jackson is not a good matchup. Myles Garrett versus a slow, drop back, statuesque quarterback, like I'm saying, like, Joe Burrow's not slow. Joe Burrow can move, right? But he's not a scary guy on the ground as like a Kyler Murray or a Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson, those guys who can really, really move. So it doesn't really match up well against big Myles Garrett. But, you know, Aaron Donald, doesn't matter to him. He can do whatever he wants. That dude impacts every play. And that's what we're paying Myles for, is to impact every play on defense. And dude just didn't do anything. You know who did? And I said it in the pregame. And anybody who was listening to me, if you guys, a lot of you guys were there in the pregame show, go back. It's taped. Go back and listen. The guy that I told you was going to make a huge impact, is going to be big this season. I'm pointing my finger. And when I point my finger, you guys know I'm serious. is Larry Ogunjobi. He worked his tail off in the off season. Got the videos. Follow him on Instagram. Dude went to work. He's trying to get paid. Larry Ogunjobi is going to be possibly our defensive MVP this year, right? So he's making an impact. All right. So I'm not going to say I'm not shitting all over Miles. I still think that he's good. It was a bad matchup. He didn't make an impact. We got shredded on defense. 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. Right. Okay. All right. Ravens and Steelers have had their head coach for 10 plus years. You wonder why they're a successful organization. Well, here's the thing. They're a real Browns fan. Those coaches have also earned it. Those coaches have won Super Bowls, have made the playoffs, have won lots of games. Don't get blown out. Beat the teams they should beat. So when you do that, you have that continuity. Continuity, I should say. So Harbaugh and Tomlin and those guys, they have it, right? So we have to have a coach that wins games in order to have the continuity. We have to. Front office the same way. Although I love John Dorsey, and I do, he didn't make the right decisions either. We all wanted I know I wanted Freddie Kitchens to be successful. I think I wanted Freddie Kitchens to be more successful than I want Kevin Stefanski to be successful. Now, I do want Kevin Stefanski to be successful. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying, if you go back to last year and you listen to what I was saying last year, I was really hoping that Freddie would have been the guy. Because Baker had a really good feeling about him. I think the problem was he was calling his own plays. My dad was harping on that in the pregame. Harping on that he doesn't like the fact that he's calling his own plays. And again, if you're a head coach, first-time head coach, learning on the job, and we've hired an offensive coordinator. We've hired Alex Van Pelt. Let him be the offensive coordinator. Manage the game. There's so much to the game, the offense, the defense. And then you can still say, hey, Alex, I think, it's a good time to run this, or help him with it. Okay, because Alex Van Pelt doesn't have years of play calling. But to bite off a lot of that and still then learning how to be an offensive coordinator, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. We didn't hire Kevin Stefanski to be an offensive coordinator. We hired him to be the head coach. And until he can prove that he is a great head coach and play calling offensive coordinator, man, he's got to prove that to me. He's got to prove that to me and to my father, right? And you guys know, if you don't prove it to the Brownie Postgame YouTube channel, then you got a problem. All right. Mr. Roll Up 10, we should have been all in for Ron Rivera coming off Jackson and Kitchens. This team needs an experienced head coach. Guys, I'm not super sure, and I'm sorry I'm way behind on the chat. I'm going to try to get to everybody. I'm not sure Ron Rivera wanted to come to Cleveland. I was thinking about the Mike McCarthy thing because my dad and I was big on Mike McCarthy. I wanted Mike McCarthy there. I wanted Mike McCarthy. I put it out there. I wasn't overly, Kevin Stefanski grew on me. And he's still growing on me. But I wanted Mike McCarthy. It's pretty clear. You can go back and watch. Guys, you can, just like Hugh Jackson, you can watch the tape. The tape exists. It's on YouTube. You just got to find it somewhere. I was big on Mike McCarthy. I was even big on Josh McDaniels. Even though I think he's a crazy guy too. But still, he's big on Josh McDaniels. And, but I don't think Mike McCarthy wanted the Browns job. And I think if you're interviewing somebody who you know is a hot candidate, who knows going to have probably the pick of several jobs, and let's say that the Browns come in and go, hey man, if we offer you this job right now in this moment, would you accept the job? He might have been like, look, I'm not ready to accept anything. I want to interview with everybody, then make my decision. Meanwhile, it really looked like he wanted the Dallas job all along. He was really honing in for the Dallas job. And when he offered him, he was like, I'll take this job right this second. I'll work for free. Just give me the damn Dallas job. That's the one he wanted. So he didn't want to be in Cleveland, and that's fine. If you don't want to be somewhere, then you don't want to be there. And Ron Rivera, I don't know. Ron Rivera took the Washington job. I don't even think he interviewed with us. Right? So he took that job. He was like, dude, I don't want anything to do with the Browns job. He went to Dan Snyder. and a team that doesn't even have a logo, right? They're the Washington football team, which they did at the time, but still, you get what I'm saying, okay? He went to that organization. I really hope Ron Rivera's okay, by the way. I know he's battling cancer. I mean, dude, he's battling freaking cancer, and he's coaching a team back from a 17-point deficit on game one. It's just amazing job. And guys, we could have a problem. I was talking to my dad a couple minutes ago, and he's like, look, Chase Young, we could be looking at a problem in week 3, right? So again, this goes back to the Bengals game. This is a critical game for us. We have to win this game. We should win this game, and I hope we do it. The exact opposite of what happened to us yesterday. All right. Shoot to thrill. You can put any uni you want on a turd, and it's still a turd. We could have McCarthy. Jake says they shredded us like paper. Oh, how are you going to feel if the Bengals beat us on Thursday? Guys, I don't even think that I mean, I will feel destroyed. That this whole season will be gone. It'll be over. We lose to the Bengals. We lose to the worst team. There's going to be implosion in a lot of ways. 4-12, buckle up. Shoot the thrill. We'll see. Burrow going to teach Baker how it's done. And Anthony Williams, Baker's a bust. Mr. Roll-Up, if we lose to the Bengals and Baker looks like crap, we will officially be on Trevor Lawrence watch. So okay, here, let me tell you about my Trevor Lawrence thing. This is kind of a weird thing, but so I went to Virginia Tech. I'm a big Virginia Tech fan. And my wife, her best friend, married a gentleman. His name, I won't say his name, but she married a gentleman. And his nephew was recruited to play quarterback at Virginia Tech out of Chicago. This kid, Quincy Patterson, giant kid, and he was invited to the Elite 11. And when he was at the Elite 11, he was there with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. So I remember, I've watched this show a couple times now because it was just so interesting to see this kid from Virginia Tech, who I've got some sort of a little tie to, come out. And I talked to his uncle about it. We text a lot about it and stuff like that. And it was just really interesting. So I've been watching Trevor Lawrence since before he got to Clemson. And I remember there's a guy I work with, this giant Clemson fan, season ticket guy, lives in Charleston, goes to all the games, yada, yada, rah, rah, Clemson. And I told him, I was like, dude, you're going to get for sure, first overall draft pick in this kid, Trevor Lawrence, right? And then, he goes there and the prophecy is so far has been fulfilled. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. He's the best college quarterback I've ever seen. Yes. I've seen I'm 40 years old, guys. I've seen a lot of college quarterbacks. I saw Andrew Luck play live, beating Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl. I was there. Dude is a real deal. I saw, I saw Matt Ryan in college, beat Virginia Tech really bad. I saw him. I saw, who else did I see? It was really big, really, really good quarterbacks. I don't know. I've seen a ton. And Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback. I saw Mark Bulger. I knew Mark Bulger in high school. When he was a kid in Pennsylvania. Mark Bulger, the old Rams kid, went to West Virginia. Saw his first game in West Virginia. Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback I've ever seen in college. He's 6'6", 220. A little lean, right? Okay, but that's fine. I mean, he can puts on 5 pounds. It's not that hard to put on 5 pounds. Puts on 10, he's great. But 6'6", with accuracy, with poise, with winning. I'm telling you, Trevor Lawrence is going to be the real deal. He's going to be scary. He's going to be very scary. Justin Fields, the same way. Justin Fields is going to be amazing. I don't know about the other kid out of like North Dakota or wherever they're projecting that guy, but Trevor Lawrence is going to be a real deal. And this is a make or break year for Baker Mayfield. If it doesn't go down this year with him, sorry. I mean, we gave you 3 years, man. Like that's what it is. It is what it is. Didn't work out. probably a lot on the team, a lot on the organization, a lot on the coaches, a lot on the situation you put the kid in. But the bottom line is, didn't work. He got Gardner Minshew down there in Jacksonville, who's got nothing. They're picking up guys in the parking lot, and he's winning games, right? So I mean, there's quarterbacks out there who win. Baker has not shown us yet, other than the last couple games his rookie season. Last year was not good, and I am I'm a big Baker Mayfield fan. I'm a defender of the man, but the reality is he's got to show us more. All right, so let me skip down to where we are now. Kyle Lou, what's going on, dude? I haven't seen you around. Skip 714. We need to get Higgins and Hooper more involved. I agree with you there. Paranormal video gamer. I think Nick Chubb is going to win Player of the Year. That'd be great. Real Browns 32. Did Richardson do anything? Yeah, I think he was active. He did all right. Shoot to thrill. We have a midget quarter QB. I don't think that's a good word to say. I don't know if I'm just reading what he said. All right. That can't see the defenders in throwing lanes. A lot of quarterbacks get balls that Tom Brady had balls that were knocked down yesterday, guys. So it's not only that, but I did point that out, that Baker seems to have a lot, at least it's on my radar now, I agree, he does get a lot of balls that are knocked down. It's annoying. Paranormal video gamer, my prediction is 1,700 yards this season. That would be really bad. Period. I think Harrison Bryant will be the key player this year. Maybe. And Njoku surprised everybody yesterday with his production. We haven't seen that in a long time. DF Sports, Baker was fine before OBJ showed up. End of story. Hard to argue that. Hard to argue that point. You know? He was building momentum. Jarvis was believing in him. Higgins was on. They were in sync. OBJ comes, starts forcing the ball. Ever since even the first, guys, think about the Tennessee game. The very first pass was staring right at him and almost intercepted. He wanted to force. He wanted to get it to OBJ. Right? I don't know if they're trying to sell Nikes together, but either way, trying to get it there. Forcing it to him. God, my nose is itchy. Sorry. Okay. B Skrills, Ravens players were getting in Odell's head. I agree with you 100%. Real Browns fan, we need the eyes in the sky, not in the sidelines. I agree. Shoot to thrill, the dude that tipped that interception, Baker never saw him. Yeah, Callis Campbell, he's like 6'8". He should have seen him. B Skrills, I ain't got time to be watching some old emotional ass wide receiver. He's not that old. I think he's like 28, 27. That is like the prime years for wide receiver. That's where like you should still have a little bounce. I think Odell, I mean, I could be wrong. 20, he's between 26 and 28, somewhere in there. Somebody, guys, in chat, can you find out his age for me? He should have a little bit of bounce. He's, it's definitely getting towards the middle of the career, but it's not, I wouldn't call him old yet. MM wanted control, and the Browns weren't having it. I don't know who you're talking about with MM. Odell need to get it together, including Baker Mayfield. B Skrills, agree. Bye-bye, Siebert. We brought up the kicker, Parkey, from the practice squad. Agree. I called that. The second he missed that field goal, go look at Twitter. I said, see ya, Siebert. It was nice knowing you. I didn't think they were actually going to let him on the plane home, because those kicks that he missed just just sucked the air. And I sat there when he shanked that ball, and it's 10-6, and he goes in for the extra point. And we shank it. I was standing up to go to the bathroom, and I just said, God damn it, we can't have anything good happen. Can't have anything good happen, and that sets the tone for the damn season. Right? You go, you fight, you get a great touchdown, and Njoku hasn't seen it. You get the whole Chief, slammed down with the ball, spiking the ball in the end zone. The whole team's over there. Everybody's excited. Baker Mayfield's first touchdown of the season. All this stuff, and the damn kicker misses it. And I sat there like, oh yeah, I'm sure we're not going to need that point. Come on. Yeah, you can't make extra points. You're at 85%, less than 85% now, career extra point kicker. Sorry, dude. It's the wind wasn't blowing. Something got in your head. If the hold wasn't good, if the snap wasn't good, I don't know, man. Like, execute. I was just thinking of the first year Baker, that with Browns in 7-8-1, and honestly, that was the best Baker Mayfield I've seen before. It was an exciting Baker Mayfield. I got to tell you that. I saw the Tampa game where we got beat in overtime with that 60-plus yard freaking pass, or field goal at the end of the game. How annoyed, and I just was like, great. We lost to a 62-yard field goal at the end of the damn game. But man, Baker was on fire, and you just tell there's just this, he wanted it. Ingram, Engraven Vids, what's going on, man? Guys, by the way, Engraven Vids is an awesome YouTuber and a guy that, although he's a Ravens fan, I just couldn't bring myself to watch your video. Dude, I saw how happy you were, and I was like, man, I'm gonna let him have this. but I'm a big fan. That dude is legit. The Ravens YouTube, yes, the Ravens YouTube guy. Pretty cool, small world, man. I didn't realize he was that tall. I guess he was probably talking about Trevor. He's got commercials to fall back on. I don't know if he's going to have commercials. Johnny Manziel, Snickers commercials, Brady Quinn and commercials. I don't see them doing a whole lot now. Although I guess Johnny's still doing some like wonky ass like insurance commercials. Nick Chubb needs to be the number one option, says Coral Ross. I didn't like him splitting carries between Chubb and Hunt. Here's the reality: a lot of teams, if you look at the NFL, a lot of teams are actually going to a 3-man committee running the ball. Right? Chubb's not going to get the ball 20 times a game. He's just not, and that's, to be honest, from the stat side of the fantasy side of things, that hurts. But in reality, that's extending both Chubb and Kareem Hunt's career, and it's gonna and the fact that they're both so good and so dangerous. It's not like we're going from Chubb to like D'Ernest Johnson, which is, I mean, D'Ernest is. I'm not trying to disrespect the man, but he's not Nick Chubb. He's not threatening to lead the league in rushing. Kareem Hunt could, right? They're both A+ running backs. So I understand what you mean by that, but in reality, I think we can all agree it's probably best for everybody that they split carries. So Alex Alt-Stater, I wish the superstars were actually made superstar highlights. Maybe they will, man. Maybe they will soon. I don't know. And we'll see. I mean, if they can't do it against the Bengals, just like last year, if they couldn't do it against the Jets, we're going to have a problem. The Browns have talent. They just have no chemistry. And I think that's my main point with that first bullet that we're looking at. That's the point. The chemistry isn't there. Odell is 5'11". He's short. Is he 5'11"? He's taller than I thought. I thought he was like 5. I thought he was shorter than that. You don't think that Baker emoji from William Jackson has started a race problem with him standing up and not taking a knee? I don't know, man. I don't want anything. I don't know. I said in Twitter, look, I don't know what happens in NFL locker rooms, right? I don't know. And I think I don't know. Maybe. I didn't even see. I was messing around with my stream, so I didn't even see the national anthem. I didn't see if they showed anybody kneeling or not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe they're pissed off at him. I don't know. I hope not. E period. I just have to say E period. If I just say E, it's weird. We can't win a season opener for nothing. You're right. Engraven Vids, yeah, talking about Trevor. Dude, Trevor's is a legit star. He's going to be a star. So is Justin Fields. And My only thing is whoever has the first 1 or 2 pick, it's not gonna be a Peyton Manning Ryan Leaf situation. It's gonna be a Peyton Manning and Peyton Manning situation. It's gonna be a Peyton Manning or Cam Newton. Who do you want, right? And Cam Newton, for everybody who's down on him because whatever, Cam Newton was he was a freak for a long time and got hurt and, car accident, a whole bunch of crap. But Cam Newton took his team to the Super Bowl and was scary for a while. All right. Jake, Hunt looked great and hungry. I agree. Hunt's happy to be in Cleveland. He's happy to be at home. He took the discount. He didn't even test the market. He's like, I'm happy. What else do you want? Right? You're home. People love you. You got your home people, the people you played football in front of from the vast majority of your life. They're all sitting there supporting you. You couldn't be more comfortable. Hopefully he continues to make good decisions. I know he already got pulled over that one time. But you're in a situation where you should be happy and comfortable, and I think that Kareem Hunt made the right decision. And to be honest, we got 2 really great running backs, which is not only from the standpoint of it's great because we can run them both, but for depth. If somebody gets injured, running backs get injured, and it would be horrible, and I don't want them to, knock on wood, but the bottom line is we got 2 stars. It's not a bad problem to have. Washington football team beat Carson Wentz in Eagles yesterday. Beast Rose. Yes, they did. Joe White, my dad and I watched every Browns game together my whole life until he passed away in 2014. Cherish every game. It's not the same now. I agree, man. And, my dad and I yesterday, it's funny because my dad's not the most technically savvy guy out there, but I'm proud of him because he deals with my level, because before I go live on stream, I don't get tense. I just I want everything to go right, and I want the technology to be working right, and I get really frustrated. He's I don't know what to click. I don't know what I clicked, but something's not working. I'm like, Dad, well, what's not working? You got to give me a little bit of feedback. So I would get frustrated a little bit, but we've made it work magically. If anybody's ever had to try to do tech support for their parents, right, it's not easy. It's a frustrating experience, but he's done it. And, it's funny because every time now we sit there and we talked this morning on the drive to the airport. We talked today. I think we talked twice today, and we're just talking about the Browns. And I'm like, that's why we started this channel, because we just talk about the damn Browns all the time. I'm like, why not just put it out there? Right. And this is actually, most people, when they start a channel, or they don't even start a YouTube channel because they don't probably have that level of technology that I've got a little bit of technical skill. Most people are just putting out the audio form and making a podcast. I've done the podcast thing before. I don't like it as much. I don't get to interact with an audience like this, So, and then have the VODs and have more people be able to, you can still listen to this as a podcast if you want, right? Listen to it as a podcast. Just put it on the background. If you have YouTube Red, you can even shut off your screen on your phone or whatever. Listen to it at work. Do whatever you want. It can be a podcast. Joe Rogan does it, right? Why can't we do it at Brownie Postgame? So, yeah, no, I agree. And Joe, my dad's 72 years old. And he just had major surgery. We didn't talk about this. I don't know if he wants me to talk too much about it, but my dad had just had a major surgery. He's had some heart surgeries. He's got a pacemaker in there. My dad's been through it. And the dude heals. He was an athlete growing up. My dad actually got my dad was one of the best baseball players and basketball players. He got a basketball scholarship to the legendary high school in New Jersey, Don Bosco. If anybody knows anything about high school football, Don Bosco is the real deal. And my dad got a basketball scholarship there because his team won everything under the sun. So they gave the starting 5 guys in his Catholic league, they gave him scholarships to Don Bosco, and he went there. And he actually has a plaque because he won this Iron Man thing. And if you go to anybody who knows about this, I'm just ranting about my dad right now, but he's got a plaque at Don Bosco that says Iron Man Dan Killy. So my dad's been an athlete. I think that's why his body's been able to get through a lot of this surgery and stuff, because he heals really well. He recovers quickly. But I don't even know what I'm gonna do when he's not around anymore, because it's probably gonna feel similar to when the Browns weren't around. When the Browns weren't around in 96 to 99, the mid to late 90s was a void in I didn't watch the NFL. I don't know about you guys. I did not watch the NFL. I didn't care. Right? And I wasn't even in college. I didn't go to college till 98. So I just didn't watch football. I didn't watch college football. I didn't watch the NFL, and I didn't want to see the Ravens. I was just maybe caught a game here and there, but I wasn't into it. I didn't really care that much. It wasn't until the Browns came back in 99 that I started giving a crap. And that's probably how it's going to feel for a little bit when my dad's no longer here. Because we talk about the Browns, but love it. It gives us something to bond over. We've bonded over it my entire life. And it's not going to be a fun time. I think about that a lot. And I hope it doesn't happen for a long time, because we have a lot of Browns to watch together. We have a lot of live streams to do. And hopefully we get a Super Bowl. I was thinking about that. If we ever got to the Super Bowl, would I want to go to the game, or would I just want to stay home and watch it with my dad? Or would I want to watch it with you guys? Or would I want to go to Cleveland and watch it up there with all the people in Cleveland? And I think it would really depend on where it is. Like if it was in Florida, like in Miami, I'd probably go, because my parents live in South Florida, so we'd have a place to stay. And I've been to that stadium a billion times, between the old Marlins games and Dolphins games and Miami Hurricanes games when they played Virginia Tech. So I've been to that stadium. I actually went to that stadium to watch the Browns play several times, when they had Peyton Hillis, when they had Lee Suggs way back in the day, Lee Suggs from Virginia Tech. So if it's in Florida, if they ever made the Super Bowl, I would go. But if it was in the Superdome, or like Louisiana, or like New Orleans, I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you guys want to go to the game, or would you want to be around Browns fans? I think I asked Quincy that one time, and Quincy was like, I would just want to be in Cleveland. I just would want to watch it with everybody else. Okay, Joe, Engraven. Bro, what's going on with Odell? Is he hurt? I keep seeing him go on and off the field throughout the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he wants to be in Cleveland. I really don't. I don't think he's happy there. I think he loved Baker Mayfield. They got the big hug in the preseason game. The Nike connection, all that stuff. Baker and Odell had a good relationship prior to Odell getting to Cleveland, and it hasn't been the same. And I don't think Odell wants to be there anymore. I think he's just over it. I think he's letting his emotions play out. I don't think he's hurt. I just think he's not. Yeah, I don't think he wants to be there, and he lost focus. And a diva wide receiver who loses focus is not a good thing. We need to pay Chubb before his free agent. We will. We're absolutely going to lock up Chubb, but he ain't going anywhere. I think Chubb is a Hall of Fame running back. Beast Grills and the Browns beat the Bengals. That will at least give them confidence before they play Washington. I agree. Kid Wilson, not letting Chubb play is a good way to make Chubb want to leave. I don't know. I don't think so. Chubb, when he was at Georgia, he was there with Sonny Michel and Todd Gurley. Am I saying that wrong? Was it? I don't know. Who was he there with? Somebody else. It might have been Gurley, right? So Chubb is not a selfish guy. I don't think he even really cared that he didn't win the rushing title last year. Mary, Baker needs to get beyond the first read. Doesn't seem comfortable yet again. I agree. I said this again on Twitter. He looks, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I might have just been texting with Restano. I said he looks skittish. Like he did. He looked real not nervous, like he couldn't handle it, but just skittish. Like, I'm going to make a decision. That's what he felt like. All the injuries on defense, Mr. Rollup 10 says, all the injury on defense really hurt. The next Man, up crap only goes so far. You're right. We don't have a ton of depth on defense, you know, and the problem isn't only the fact that these guys are down and not producing on the field, but they're not getting the reps. They're not getting the in-game experience. Greedy Williams needs to be out there. Mac Wilson needs to be out there. Jedrick Wills needs to be out there. Now, so, you know, all the reports is that Jedrick was, you know, the x-ray came back negative. Great. Well, he didn't break a bone. I'm not a doctor either, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I think when it's more about like ligament stuff, that's where the MRIs come in. They want to see like where the tissue is coming in. I don't think we need to rush back Jedrick Wills against the Bengals on Thursday. Please don't rush him back and ruin him. You know, we don't need him there. Give him the week to heal up. Get him some stuff and get there. X-ray came back negative. Yep, Jedrick. Billy reacts. Dude, honestly wouldn't mind if Odell was traded for a second man. I'm a strong supporter of him and Baker as well. But Odell is killing Baker, and it's obvious unless he improves, he could go. Hard to argue with that. But again, it's not a buyer's market for Odell Beckham right now. He's not coming off a Pro Bowl season, right? Nobody's sitting out there. Look what they got for DeAndre Hopkins. They got like nothing, and that dude balled, right, yesterday. OBJ ruined Baker. He's too occupied forcing the ball to Odell. I feel like he does force it to a lot. Typical gamer. I do agree. CH. So this Baker thing. I get it. He's had 4 coaches, but I mean, come on. Should we see some issues get corrected? Yeah, we should see some issues getting corrected. We should, you know, we see a lot of commercials on TV, and he even made fun of it, like, you know, people make fun of me in commercials for the Hulu thing. But dude, everybody gets pissed when you get destroyed and you have a terrible game, and then we have to watch the late game, and we have to see, you know, really cheesy progressive commercials. They would be hilarious. I would be dying, hilarious, rolling on the ground laughing if we win the game. But if we don't win the game and you throw crappy interceptions and, you know, 50% completion percentage or whatever, bro, I don't want to see your progressive commercials. I don't want to buy progressive or Hulu for that matter. Odell needs to be traded now. He's losing. He's gotten to him. Stopar. I wish I had a Browns YouTube channel, but I don't think I would get that far. And I would be copying all the Browns YouTube channels. We already have a lot. Dude, if you want to do it, do it. I'll support you. I'll tweet it out. I'll get you going. There's a community of Browns fans, and even like, you know, even other, we got other people in here too. Engraven Vids is here. You know, there's people out there that will support other creators. I love supporting creators because I'm a creator myself, and I know how hard it is to get started and how much of a just crapshoot it is to get going anywhere and to make anything happen. I've tried to create gaming channels for a long time. Nobody cares about my gaming content. I tried to do really well. I put work into my gaming stuff. Still nothing. I think it's just too saturated. But the Browns are not saturated, man. There's plenty of, if you've got something to say and you're passionate about it, there's plenty of people out there that'll watch. And, you know, I kind of thought about the same thing. I'm like, you know, Quincy's out there, and, you know, Gary Bush, the barbershop, is out there. They're kind of making their videos. And I was like, you know what? I'll make hype videos. I'll make fun, you know, I'll do the Phil Collins thing and the Infinity War thing, and that'll get a couple of you guys to know who I am, and then hopefully you'll listen to me when I talk. But so yeah, if you want to do it, man. I'll tweet it out. I'll help you as best I can. When the Browns suck, it ruins football altogether for me. Can't enjoy other games. Man, I agree. When the Browns lose, I get depressed. I have a hard time sleeping. I don't want to work out the next day. But when the Browns win, I want to work out like crazy. I want to like do 10 workouts. So I know how that feels. It is mood altering. Vanochentin Drew. See, I think Baker isn't bad. I think is they can't coach them wrong. Can't coach them wrong. Right, I mean, okay. You can't coach them right. Maybe. I mean, Baker was very successful in high school, very successful at 2 colleges, right? So, coaching is important. And coaching in the NFL isn't like, anything else. Coaching in the NFL is you're professional, right? You are a professional coach. You have to manage a lot. You're the CEO of the personnel. You got to set the cadence for meetings. You got to talk to all your coaches. You got to get to know all your players. You got to report into the GM. You got to oftentimes report right into the owner, this idiot owner that we have, right? So, yeah, I said it. He's a freaking moron. It's terrible. Matty B. I live in New Jersey and would want to be in Cleve for Super Bowl. Real Browns. I think I'm going to be a Browns. I think going to a Browns Super Bowl life would be a dream. Yeah, I think that I agree. I think it would be kind of amazing. I missed out. I could have gone to the Virginia Tech national championship game in '99, and I didn't go. I didn't have tickets or anything, but my dad asked me. He's like, "Do you want to go? We'll go." And I was like, "Nah, I just want to be at home. I just want to watch it at home." I'd been to New Orleans literally like a month and a half earlier than that. And I was like, I'm good. I think it's time to move on from Baker and trade for Alex Smith. I can't agree with that. I do not agree. No. Baker's a diva backup quarterback, Johnny 2.0. I think that's something that I don't think he's Johnny 2.0, guys. I don't think he's Johnny. But he's got a lot to prove. Sonny and Todd. Yeah, so was Todd. Anthony Williams, Baker play doesn't match his draft selection. Man, everybody is so down on Baker. Guys, I don't think he's a bust. I don't think that he's terrible. I think that he just had a bad game, and he's going to rebound from it. And I think he has to rebound from it. I think he knows it. But as part of my Twitter rant, I think that he needs to have his voice be heard and stop allowing these dude, can you guys think of another team out there, one team whose leader, maybe Arizona because of Larry Fitzgerald, but not really, but one team who has a wide receiver who is their leader, who's the leader of the locker room or demands that much attention? There's a lot of good wide receivers out there. Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, DeAndre. Those guys, they're not even the best guys that I'd ever seen. Calvin Johnson. He didn't demand it. Randy Moss did a little bit, but Randy Moss arguably might be, besides Jerry Rice, the best wide receiver of all time. And OBJ is not that. Nelson Gonzalez. At this point, no other team wants OBJ. Why would they? Hard to disagree. Billy reacts. Baker just needs to calm down. Lamau. Odell needs less targets. The offense needs to run the play action, tight end heavy system. That's what I thought we were going to do. Right. We were promised that. What's going on with it? That's what I thought. I thought we were going to be real heavy, and we kind of were heavy a little bit, and then we just backed off of it after the interception. Opening drive. Matty B. Really hard to judge play calling. Baker in the offense against the Ravens. I agree that, again, guys, this is the hardest game of the season. The hardest game of the season that we saw yesterday against an in-division rival who won a crap load of games last year, who was a legitimate Super Bowl contender with the league's MVP and a great defense and a team that beats us a whole lot at home. Right? I know that we had a great game last year, and I know I talked about it in the pregame, but when I was eating lunch before the game, I told my dad, I said, Dad, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. Because I don't know if we can put this thing together. And my worst nightmare came true with the very first opening drive. Vanachentin Drew, do you think we're going to tank this season? I don't think we're going to tank. I just think we've got a little bit of growing up to do. Landry doesn't disappoint. I agree with you there. I just missed my... hold on, guys. I just missed my spot. OBJ is living off the memory of the one-handed catch. Nelson says. Next Gen says Nelson facts. Landry's a beast. Williams true. Nelson Gonzalez, I would trade him for a good linebacker. Agree. Yeah, probably. Derek Jones. I feel like we're going to quick to going to the pass early. This team was built to run. Baker should be sitting back like Keenum, just managing the game. Drew says it would be hilarious if we blow out the Bengals. Then we play the progressive commercial. OBJ is done an average at best. 2 games a week, good or bad. It's going to kill my liver. Browns fan, 32. Never knew about your gaming content. Yeah, it's InClan GG. IN Clan GG. And it came, there used to be this, when I first started getting into esports and gaming, was back early 2000s. With Warcraft 3. It was a real-time strategy game. Warcraft 3 came out, and the best players in the world, and also a lot for StarCraft too, but the best RTS players were in this clan called, they were called the In Clan. Now you got like FaZe Clan and, 100 Thieves and stuff like that, but the In Clan was the thing back in the early 2000s, so I'm bringing it back to life. It's my brand now. Look at me. I'm the In Clan now. Me and my son. That's it. Actually, my friend Cam and his girlfriend's son are also in the In Clan. But that's what it is. Inclan.gg. If you guys care about that. I put a lot of work into it, guys. If you like Warzone, you like that stuff, I'm putting a lot of effort into it. So check it out. Billy reacts, if we could go back in time, I would keep Rashard Perriman, keep Jabril Peppers, keep Kevin Zeitler, keep our first, third round picks, and the Giants can keep OBJ and Vernon. I think a lot of people would agree with you, dude. I think a lot of people would. Dr. No. Is Landry 100%? If so, they need to ditch OBJ and work with Landry, the tight end, RBIs, running backs. I don't know if Landry's 100%, but he sure did play well. He looked like Jarvis Landry, so he looked pretty good. Anthony Williams, what's up, dude? I bet Odell would ball out if we switched to Keenum. That'd be hilarious. Matty B, watching the Giants is like watching the Browns versus Steelers. 19 play drive ending KN. Drew, my name's Drew. It's backwards on my name. Okay. Quentin T, yeah. Or give Peoples a chance. I wouldn't mind. I want to see Peoples. Guys, I want to see him. I don't know why he fell so far in the draft, but I wouldn't mind seeing him. They need to ditch Baker. Matty B, ending in an INT for a touchback. Well, Baker was a walk-on. He was, but he won the Heisman. And he was the first overall draft pick. And he had a killer he had 3 great seasons in college. So I can't say that he was like a walk-on. That's a bad thing. He was a walk-on and proved it. When Michigan Wolverines and the Browns lose, it's depressing. Baker play in high school didn't even warrant a scholarship. Wow. I think he won a state championship for Lake Travis. I think he did pretty well in high school. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think he did pretty well in high school. I still believe in Baker. Michigan suck. I believe Baker will be released after the season. Billy reacts. Baker makes the Browns even slightly competitive. Without him, we suck. Thursdays, these same people will praise him when he gets 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. We'll see. I think that will bring a lot of people. It's kind of like the presidential poll, right? You see approve, disapprove, right? Strongly approve, strongly disapprove. I think right now Baker's numbers are in the bottom in terms of strongly disapprove. And that he got to earn that back. You got to earn that trend line back, right? He throws 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. I think he's going to earn a lot of those people that were dipping, that were coming off. right? They're saying they're getting into like, I don't really know, or maybe disapprove. He's going to get those guys to come back. Ocho and Terrell Owens was give me the ball guys on their teams. I agree. Facts, Billy reacts. Baker makes the team, says Drew. Mr. Roll Up 10. How is Baker able to light up the league as a rookie, but now it's trash? It makes no sense. I think teams didn't have a book on him. I think he was a lot more focused. I think he had a lot to prove. I think in the beginning it was Todd Haley, and then it became Freddie Kitchens. I think they worked really well together. It was almost like a we got nothing to lose thing. Let's go out there and do some crazy stuff, and I think they did. Right? Baker makes his team suck. Anthony Williams is definitely in the strongly disapproved pile, right? He does not like Baker Mayfield. Coral Ross, how the hell could they tank the season with all that talent? I don't even see it as an option. I mean, here's the reality, guys. Talent doesn't win. Teams win. And you can have an all-star team out there, and you can lose. Look at the Olympics. We were putting all-star teams out there, just a few years before LeBron took it back over. We were putting NBA all-stars out there, and we didn't win the gold medal. I think Allen Iverson was on that team. So just because you have a ton of talent doesn't mean you win. You gotta have more than that. Cora Ross, at least not on purpose. CH says Baker needs the right coach and system. Very few QBs can go anywhere. Not that many Mannings out there. Agree. Okay, going back to what I was saying. Miles needs to make an impact. I think we covered that. Special teams, kicking, punting coverage. Man, that fake punt was dumb. I'm going to say it. I said it right when it happened. I go, that was dumb. We had two guys, I don't know who they are. They were just the special teams guys who couldn't block one Raven, and that Raven comes through and puts his helmet right on the ball. So our rugby player, punter, who doesn't apparently know how to protect a football, gets it knocked right out of his hands and looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, man. I don't care how thick the guy is. Just punt the ball. Punt the ball, and that's it. Nobody executed on that play. It was a goddamn embarrassment, and we shouldn't do that. That was the first fail on special teams. The second fail was the missed extra point. The third fail was the mixed field goal. The fourth fail was our kick coverage wasn't good. Siebert wasn't kicking, touchbacks. They would bring it out to the 40-yard line. That's a bad kick coverage. It just wasn't good. Although Gillum did kind of redeem himself when he punted that one ball, got a nice good bounce, and it ended up on the 1-yard line. And then they go 99 yards to win the damn thing. It's pretty ridiculous. Baker needs he's out there. Why don't we play like we did in 2018 with no regrets? You'd hope we would. I don't have an answer for that. The team won't have to tank if they keep playing like that. I agree. No one's going to like this, but with a third offensive system to learn and no real offseason, it's not fair to judge Baker until the bye week. It's a fair statement, Matty B. I think it's fair to say that. But the reality is these are professional football players. And that was one of the things I was a little bit concerned about going into the Ravens game. This is a team that has been together for a long time. They still have the same personnel. They got a couple rookies here and there, but the vast majority, these guys speak the language. And when you speak the language in football, it's not super easy to switch systems, especially systems like, Lamar Jackson has had his entire system that was designed for him. Joe Flacco was not running the ball like Lamar Jackson does, right? So they designed a system around Lamar Jackson to make it work. I think if you think back to 2018, the Browns were playing in a system that worked for Baker Mayfield. 2019, Todd Monken, it was a lot of Todd Monken's offense. It was the 7-yard, seven-step drop, wait back there, look for guys open, the Ryan Fitzpatrick offense that blew up for Tampa Bay. Unfortunately, we didn't have an offensive line that would give Baker enough time. And then Baker wasn't as accurate, and then he started getting really, skittish back there and running around and exiting the pocket because he didn't want to get killed. Our wide receivers weren't catching the ball, and it was just a bad thing. We stuck with it the whole time. I think we got to go back, just like the Eagles. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles, Doug Peterson looked at when Carson Wentz went down and it went to Nick Foles. They sat there and go, hold on a second. This is a guy who threw 29 touchdowns and like 2 interceptions or whatever the ridiculous stat was the year that he was on the Eagles. They went back and looked at the tape and they go, we need to design an offense that's going to work for this man. And they did. And they won the damn Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, right? That's what the Browns need to do. They need to go to Baker Mayfield and go, Baker, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? What works for you? What did you work? What did you do in college that works? Because I got to tell you guys, if you watch Louisville in college with Lamar Jackson, trust me, a lot of what he does in the pros is very similar to what he did at Louisville, which is maybe less designed runs, but he's doing a lot of the same stuff. They're designing the offense for him. We need to do that for Baker Mayfield. Instead of designing an offense for wide receivers, we need to design an offense that makes our franchise quarterback comfortable. Thankful Seibert's gone, says CH. Yep. Sucks that he lost his job, but I mean, dude, you got to execute your job no matter what it is. If I stop doing my job, stop executing, you don't get paid anymore. That's how the world works. Beast Grills, all my favorite teams lost. Browns, Indians, Clippers. It's a bad weekend, dude. Billy reacts, Cody, Parkey. Let's go like 5 for 5 Thursday. Dude, that'd be amazing. I don't know if he's that good though, guys. Everybody's gotta relax on Parkey. This is double doink Parkey. You guys remember, he was on the Browns before. Our punter had a nice punt yesterday, though. I agree. He did have one nice punt. He got a nice roll, and it went down, but it didn't result. We still couldn't stop him. Dude, Mark Andrews is amazing. I sat there, and I was like, the key to the game, Mark Andrews, and we left him 15 yards wide open, and he snags the ball out of the air and brings it in. I was like, Mark Andrews is who we thought Mark Andrews was. He's freaking awesome. Andrews made Lamar. For some reason, I feel like Parkey will be solid. I like your optimism. Trade OBJ. When he was hurt in the playoffs, Lamar was exposed. Yeah. Looks like Lamar is better this year. Yikes. As soon as OBJ is out on the Browns, they'll start winning. I don't think Odell is a problem. It's Baker. Watch, we trade Odell and he ball out. Lamar came in the 10th game in 2018. Flacco's offense, no first-team reps. In camp for 10 weeks of the season, went 6-1, won the division. That's what I'm saying. But they didn't. He wasn't running Joe Flacco's offense. He was running Lamar Jackson's offense, and that's a testament to Harbaugh. He changed the offense. He changed the Baltimore Ravens. I wish Ingraven Vids was still here. He would back me up on this. I would sign Cap at this point. Nobody's signing Kaepernick. Nobody's signing Johnny Manziel. Nobody's signing Tim Tebow. Like I said before, it's all about the circus. Not to say they can't play. I'm sure he can probably still play quarterback. But, he's also the guy who got beat up by Blaine Gabbert. But I digress. It's more about the circus with Cap than anything else. And the Browns have never been a team that have gone out and grabbed like a controversial guy like that. So I don't think it's going to happen. What's up, bro? Jacob Graham. What's going on, man? Welcome. Drew Baker is definitely not Manziel. Manziel was a walking train wreck. Baker is 10 times better. Baker's much better than Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was like, he was just a guy. He was Johnny Football. Draw it up in the sand and go run it. And he was amazing at it, and he was fun to watch in college. You can get away with that in college. If you're a really good athlete, you can get away with that in college. You can't do that in the pros. Baker Mayfield's accuracy is so bad. It's killing us. Baker just suck. It's none more. We need to move ASAP to have the season. I don't know, man. I'm not. It's not like we've got a Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb situation. We've got Case Keenum. Now, Case Keenum is a quarterback in the NFL. He's had a certain level of success. Actually, did pretty well with Kevin Stefanski. But we also got to watch what we hope for, because we might get it. I'm starting to give up on Baker, Jacob. I think a lot of people are. I'm not ready to give up on him. I will not be ready to give up on Baker until Baker gives up on the Browns. If that happens, I'll give up on Baker. I don't see Baker giving up on the Browns, so I'm not going to give up on him yet. I see Odell giving up on the Browns. I don't see Jarvis. I don't see Nick. I don't see Miles. I don't see Denzel. All of our other leaders aren't giving up, but I see a lot of body language in Odell that I don't like, and I feel like he's giving up on the Browns. And if that's so, see ya. The Steelers are starting to look kind of scary. 25-10 Steelers in the fourth quarter. Steelers aren't going to be bad guys. They're not going to be. They're again. You like Kevin Stefanski says. Every team can win 8 games in the NFL. It's can you win 10? Can you win those 2 extra ones? The Steelers, because they've got consistency, because they've got some talent out there, the Steelers are going to still be okay. They definitely are winning 8 games this year. It's will the Browns win 8 and will the Bengals win 8? Because you're definitely sure that the Ravens will. Even if Lamar Jackson went down with RG3, I still think they win 10 games. Baker is not talented. He scored 335 in 2019 and 6 yesterday, 341 over 17's game with Mayfield. That's a 20 points a game. You can't win with that. It's Mayfield. It's sad to say, but we got to get rid of Baker. A lot of people are really off the Baker Mayfield wagon. And I understand. I think it's a little bit too early, guys. I'm not ready to give up on him. Baker's more commercials than wins. Drew, I like Manziel now as a person, not a football player. He's matured so much. I think he's matured a little bit. Yep, I'd agree. CH, bottom line, Baker's still got 30 mil. He might be getting it in the media, but it'll be fine. I agree. I'm not saying that he's going to go to the poorhouse, but I'm not ready to give up on him. I think that he's matured. I think he's got a lot of maturing to do. I think he's got a long way to go. It's not going to guys, if we thought we were going to come out and have that same miracle game that we had in Baltimore last year, dude, I think we came out swinging and everything went right for us. I rewatched the game Saturday night. My dad and I watched the game. Everything went right for us. And when everything goes right for you, typically in the NFL, you win games. And we did. We had everything go wrong for us yesterday. We beat ourselves again. And we were the old Browns yesterday. And they were the Baltimore Ravens like they are. So bottom line, Baker still got that over here. That if Baker loses to Cincinnati, you got to think about moving on from him, Mike. I don't disagree. I think if he loses to Cincinnati and it looks really bad, again, Cincinnati had the number 1 pick last year. They are the worst team in the league for a reason. Now, we had the 10th pick, so we weren't that far off, but the bottom line is their defense is not very good. And I think they had some injuries too. I think it's some injuries on their defensive line. So, yes, I think if Baker has a bad game, when we lose to Cincinnati, national television, after getting embarrassed and humiliated in our first game, then yes, I think that it could spell the beginning of the end for Baker Mayfield. But then again, he could come back against Washington, throw 5 touchdowns, and redeem himself. Who knows? He's just not accurate. Kid Wilson, 33 miles, in his post-game presser, acted like he could care less that we lost. I think that's just Miles. I don't think Miles gets really worked up about anything. I think if you're Myles Garrett, if you move a lot, it takes a lot of energy and calories, right? So I mean, he's just a big dude. I just don't think he gets that emotional about anything. Baker Mayfield, man, I'm sick of this dude. I haven't given up on Brady Quinn. Evan, good one. I still have a Brady Quinn jersey, man. I do rock it from time to time. I don't think I like the mature button down Baker. He needs his fire. Joe White, I think Odell is soft. If we trade him, We won't miss anything, and maybe we can pick up a good player for the O-line and maybe a good draft pick. I don't know. I don't think there's a buyer's market right now for Odell. Jake, give Baker a chance. In 2 seasons and 1 game, he's had 4 head coaches and multiple coordinators. See, Jake is on the other side. Jake is on I'm not saying that, Jake, you're an extreme Baker fan or any believer, but I think you're in the boat of you're not giving up on him yet, right? And I'm in that same boat. I don't want to make excuses for him, but everything you just laid out is true. But he had a bad game. And to come out and throw an interception the way he did on the opening drive, people lose confidence in you, right? Steelers don't look scary. Daniel Jones has handed them this game. Daniel Jones is not good, dude. Daniel Jones is not an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry, he's not. Lamar came in cold in 2018. He made things happen because he's talented. With a will to do nothing but score. We ran more and had design runs with the O screen. I mean, Lamar Jackson, guys, again, I went to Virginia Tech. I've mentioned this several times, and I mentioned it again. I'm very proud of it. I went to Virginia Tech when Michael Vick was there. I said, I have never seen a human being run and move and throw and do the things that Michael Vick could do until I saw Lamar Jackson. And I saw him in Louisville. I was sitting at a bar. What bar was it? It's not Hooters. It's the other one. Twin Peaks. Basically Hooters, but like, I don't know, like a lumberjack type theme. So if you guys get a chance to go to Twin Peaks, it's awesome. And we're sitting there watching, and I'm watching Louisville, and I go, dude, this guy's insane. It was pre-Heisman Lamar. And I'm like, this guy is. This is before we had Baker or any quarterback, and I'm like, dude, this guy is ridiculous. And I sat there. I'm like, he's because of what happened with Michael Vick, people aren't going to believe in him. And then, dude, I think it's Baker Mayfield had an amazing rookie season, had a bad year last year, which was still kind of average, and then this year he's not off to a great start, but whatever. I'd much rather have Baker Mayfield than Josh Rosen or Sam Darnold. Josh Allen looks like he's pretty good because he looks more like he's just a tank. And you go back to the tape. I'm pointing my finger again. I said Josh Allen is going to be a scary guy too because he just reminds me of Roethlisberger. And Lamar Jackson reminds me of Michael Vick, just better. Just freaking better. But Michael Vick didn't have his head on his shoulders. You know, obviously the dogfighting thing and a lot of stuff. Michael Vick got into it. And remember, he also had the weed issue, the weed at the airport. Michael Vick was not a very bright kid. And Lamar Jackson seems like he's a much better person at this stage in his life than Michael Vick was. But yeah. What's up, Bryce? Stefanski brought Keenum for a reason. Mayfield doesn't score. Look, Tim's right. This front office does not have any allegiance to Baker Mayfield. The front office, the coaches, they don't have allegiance to it. It's like when you're working in a company, and if you're just an average producer for a company, and they bring in new leadership, new vice presidents, new management, new directors. Look, these aren't your guys. These aren't the guys that hired you. They're going to want to they're going to want to put their stamp on things and show the world that we're great and we can do it and we know the way. Our way is the right. This is why you hired us. Let us bring in our people. So he brought in Case Keenum. Now, I'm not saying Case Keenum's the greatest thing under the sun, but he knows Stefanski. Stefanski's apparently a loyal guy. So Baker doesn't have that safety net that he had with John Dorsey and Freddie Kitchens. So he's got to prove it. He's got to prove it to himself. He obviously has to prove it to a lot of people here. Anthony Williams, he's got to prove it to him, right? He has to prove it to me. I have a lot of jerseys. I spent a lot of money on number 6. I made a lot of highlight videos with number 6. So he's got to prove it to a lot of people, including himself. Twin Peaks is an amazing version of Hooters 29-degree beer. It is. It's an amazing version of it. Although I don't get out very much. When I wasn't working from home, I've been working from home for this company for the last 4 years, and before that I worked for another company. I had to go into an office, and there was a Twin Peaks that was right down the street, so we go eat there for lunch and stuff. It was awesome. I go to Hooters for the Hooters. Give me another beer. Man, one day when I'm drinking, I'm going to tell you my Hooters story. One day. Anthony Williams, last season, Baker finished first with quarterback passes tipped to the line. This season starting off the same. Jacob Graham, if we pound Cincinnati, I'm going to be really happy if Baker plays really good, and I'll start hopping on the train. Vic, aka Ron Mexico. My old fantasy team used to be called we were the Ron Mexicos, me and my friend. That was the last time I won a fantasy football season was 2007. That's how bad I am at fantasy football. It's not because I don't know the NFL, it's just because I don't really care. I don't really care anymore. I don't put the effort into learning all the stats and who's going to be what. I just don't care anymore. I haven't won since 2007. We were the Ron Mexicos. Joe White, Lamar's unbelievable, but if you can shut him down from his running, he's not a good passer at all. And the Ravens are very beatable. The NFL will figure out a scheme. This is how you beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. You get up early and you force him to throw. And I'm not saying that he's not very accurate. You go back to the skills competition, it was pathetic, right? He's not that accurate. The bottom line is when he moves around, and when you move around and play breaks, and guys are going to get open, right? And then you get a guy like Mark Andrews where you throw it within 20 yards of him, he catches it. Marquise Brown is really good. Boykin's pretty good. Although I hate Willie Snead and I think he's trash. I mean, he still caught a touchdown. Odell didn't. Willie freaking Snead. Willie, if you're out there, I don't like you. I don't like you. But you caught a touchdown yesterday. Good for you. Odell Beckham, you didn't. Odell Beckham dropped a 4-yard pass. Update on LT Mike Evan. The only thing I got is that he passed his X-ray, and I don't know. I asked on Twitter, like, what's with the MRI? I don't care about the X-ray. It's great. It's good news, but we better not force him in quickly. We definitely do not need to force him in against the Bengals. They do not have a defensive line that would require that, right? The Washington Redskins have a defensive lineman that would require a very good left tackle. We don't necessarily need that for the Bengals. I wouldn't mind giving it a couple extra days to heal. Our offense gotta go through the run game, not the passing game. I agree. Baker Mayfield's toxic. I don't know. I don't know, Anthony. I get it that you don't like him. I get it, but I think that there's other toxic players. Baker Mayfield wasn't the guy throwing his hands up, rolling his eyes, and sitting on the sidelines like doing that. Baker Mayfield was out there trying to win. I think Odell was more of a problem than Baker. I'm not making excuses for him, but I don't think Baker's toxic. Jacob Graham, that talk about Baker having all these weapons, but they don't even play good half the time. Flacco dropped to 18 a game his last 5 in 2018. Lamar jumped that up to 26, 27. Flacco get cut. That's where Mayfield is heading. Thanks for the shout out, Mike. I just wanted to win. I agree, man. I think we all want to win. I agree. Real Browns fan, 2007. I had Moss and Brady. We won mine also. I had Drew Brees that year. The Browns made Lamar look like the most accurate QB ever. I think honestly the Ravens did. Dude, Mark Andrews is good, man. By the way, who was Mark Andrews quarterback in college? If you don't know, Google it. Mark Andrews is real good. Come on, Baker, you can do it. Baker, touchdown maker. Anthony Williams. Quincy said Hollywood Brown was overrated. Looked great to me. Had 100 receiving yards before halftime. I don't know if he's overrated. I think he's going to be very good. I just think he's going to be overshadowed by Mark Andrews because Mark Andrews is insane. Joe White, Lamar is 20-3 as a starter. Somebody would shut him down by now. J.K. Dobbins looked amazing, just like I predicted. Yeah, he did. OBJ isn't worth the money. If we can get a good trade option, let him go. I think probably at this point we'd listen. I know we suck, but man, we look good sucking. I don't think we look good sucking at all. Oh, you talk about the uniforms? Yeah, they were good. I like the uniforms too. I have some exclusive information. I can't say exactly. For everybody, we got a couple of people here. I can't say exactly, and I don't want this clipped, and I don't want this to get out because somebody told me this in confidence, and I don't want to defy that confidence. But I will tell you guys that there might. It looks like there's going to be a surprise to our attire on Thursday night. There might be a little bit of a surprise. It's not going to be a huge surprise. It's not going to be like we're not rolling out like anything crazy, but I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. I know I'm excited about it, and if I get excited about it, I'm sure you guys will too. We've got something cool coming on Thursday. I will leave it at that. I think we're sleeping on Washington's Dwayne Haskins Jr. I think he will outplay Baker. Dude, I like Dwayne Haskins. I thought Haskins was an awesome college quarterback, and I was shocked that the Giants took freaking, Brady Bunch Daniel Jones over him. And I hope Dwayne Haskins has an awesome career, and I hope he thumbs his nose to the Giants, who he grew up a fan of. I also think Joe Burrow will outplay Baker Thursday. We'll see. Baker was his QB. Correct, Browns fan. He was Mark Andrews' quarterback. I'll take Flacco career. Also, look at like Mike Evans and Johnny Manziel. Mike Evans might be the one who made Johnny Manziel look awesome. Maybe Josh Gordon was the one who made RG3 look awesome. I don't know. Those are some really good players. Yeah, it was Baker. What do you think the Bengals backs and receivers will do versus your defense? AJ Green's healthy. He's going to do good. Boyd's healthy. He's going to do good. I think they have a good chance of doing good. They've got good running backs. They're not going to be pushover guys. These aren't the Bungles. These aren't the Bengals that were beat up and we took it to them several times over the last year. These guys aren't that bad. And you've got a very motivated young quarterback. This is going to be an interesting game. We're probably not going to win 35-6, 38-6 like what they just did. All rookies from Ohio State had good debuts, but you all see Jordan Fuller 4th down tackle on CeeDee Lamb. I didn't. I fell asleep. I missed it. Kyle Lou still with us. My man Kyle Lou. Evan Christinger orange pants. I can't say. That's some NSA secret keeping there. I think Baker will throw 3 picks. Cardiac attire, throwback uniforms. I'm hoping it's all orange uniforms. Just saying. I can't say, guys. I cannot confirm nor deny. I have not been given the green light because I think somebody told him in confidence within the organization, and I don't want to ruin that connection because we got potentially inside scoops coming, and you got to protect all your sources. You know what I mean? All right, guys, we've been at it for a while. Been at it for like, I don't know how long we've been at it for. An hour and a half, hour and 39 minutes. Thank you, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Like this stream. Please like it because it helps with the numbers. Comment on it. Tell everybody that Brownie Postgame's awesome. If you have $1, give us $1 on Patreon. That helps a lot so we can give out more stuff to the people. We got homage giveaways. We got Sabo apparel giveaways. If you need a house, call Tim Ali, who was funding all the way through the summer, and we got to give that guy some love. That would be amazing if one of you guys was in the market for a home and you reached out either buying or selling a home. Tim Ali is a heck of a nice guy and a passionate Browns fan, and if I was moving to Ohio, I would go through Tim. So I hope you guys do that as well. That'd be really cool. Give him some love. Yeah. guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. We're going live again on Thursday. We've I set up the Thursday pregame show and postgame show, so make sure you hit the alarm on them if you're a subscriber to the channel, so you can be here for it. And we'll probably do a pregame t-shirt and a postgame t-shirt. Maybe we'll do a pregame Sabo and a postgame homage. So make sure we do some giveaways on both sides of the coin, right? And all that. So, guys, thank you very much. Love you all. Go Browns. And we will see you in a couple days.